Mining analyst Peter Major from Cadiz Corporate Solutions is with us here in our JEC studio. I think Ruben Builders made some good points there at the end. This was supposed to be the gold factory. This was supposed to be the play on the gold price, the Rand gold price. But my goodness, since January last year, 7 Rand a share. It's down to 2 Rand 80. If you've been playing here, you got pretty sore.
Look, I think that was the story of buying these kind of gold shares decades ago. You know, when we were young and we were told Aesop's fables about buy a marginal gold mine, and boy, if they just increase production or improve the grade, or if the gold price goes up, or if the Rand weakens, you'll make multiples on your money. And that's how it looks on paper. So when you do your first spreadsheet, you can prove to your boss this thing will make money if each of these factors changes. But the reality is, as you said, Alec, these are lifestyle companies. You know, it's almost like the main purpose of this company is to keep its managers in the lifestyle they've grown accustomed to all these years. So if you take a look at executive salaries in this company, if you take a look at executive bonuses, expenses, take a look at that heavy-duty board they got, add up all the kind of senior personnel costs here and compare it with what they've delivered. Well, what have they delivered? I think if you start 30 years ago, the share price is down 99%. If you start 10 years ago, the share price is down about 90. If you start a year or 5 years ago, like you said, it's only down 50. So you say the trend is your friend. It's pretty much a lifestyle company. If you want gearing on the gold price, buy some futures.
DRD then not one that's going to be in the major portfolio, I see.
No, it won't be in my portfolio.
But they're doing nice stuff. I mean, they're bringing in the kids from grade 12 and teaching them about maths and science. Yeah. That made it into the commentary.
Yeah, they're good for breaking in new fund managers.
Peter, what about Eskom? Seriously, we had a very interesting discussion yesterday with Andrew Etzinger, again this morning, where Dennis Dykes was saying Eskom have really blown it in the last 5 years. That's got to have an impact specifically on the mining sector.
It really does. It's heavier than people realize, but it goes alongside the government regulation and the union trouble and the social labor trouble we've had. It's another big spike in the coffin. It's not a nail, it's not a thumbtack, it's a big spike. So it means even if you could solve relations with government and legislation, the Minerals Bill, BEE, social labor plan, and unions, even if you solved all that, even if the gold price turned around, the electricity will still crucify you trying to build and run a proper gold mine in South Africa. And I think that our program we have every Sunday night, Carte Blanche, they had a wonderful summary, you know, a real succinct summary. Iraj Abedin spoke so well and really summarized succinctly the trouble Eskom's in. This isn't a management problem at the top. You're not going to fix this changing the top 5 managers. This is in their DNA now. It's been getting worse and worse and worse for 20 years. There is no quick fix. You need everybody to come on board, all the management, all the employees, and finances. And we've taken what was really a premium, I think it was the #1 utility on the planet. Many countries, that was their role model, Eskom, South Africa's Eskom. And you look at now, it is so far down and weak and wounded and dying. I don't know if they're going to...
And the new CEO, has he got it in him to turn it around?
I honestly don't think Moses or Noah could turn this around. I don't think any human being here, you could get Jack Welch in his better days. I think it's the environment, Alec. Yeah, the whole environment surrounding Eskom. And as Iraj pointed out, they're short on people, they're short on the right people. They have bad practices built in. Their maintenance is way behind. They're robbing Peter to pay Paul. Their new plants are costing 4 times what they should, but the availability of the existing plants is down to 70-75% instead of their 90-95%.
So what would you do if you were Andrew Etzinger, who takes the barbs? I mean, that man is an optimist, and he's brave. Yeah. He's out there, he's the spokesman for Eskom, he's always trying to put the bright face on it. Would you resign? Is there a no hope here with Eskom?
Until people admit the problem, yeah, there's no hope. If you're a full-blown alcoholic and you don't think you've got any kind of problem at all, there is no hope. And yeah,
so the alkies have taken over.
Yeah, the alcoholics are running AA right now if you look at Eskom. Yeah, what would I do if I was president? It's too big a load for Eskom to handle. So I would bring in the private sector. I would rapidly increase private sector involvement. Say, Eskom can't save this country. Eskom can't generate enough electricity for everybody who needs it now. We got to get in help. And you know what? I might even let somebody build another nuclear reactor. I might even let the Chinese come in and do a solar panel over half of the northern Cape Province. You know, just, it might be crazy, but I think right now, if the ship's sinking, just let people come in and generate some electricity to take the load off Eskom, because they're trying to do it all on their own. And you see, now they're burning diesel in these open cycle turbines. That's like a jet engine stuck on full throttle. You know, the cost of those things is probably 5 times, 6 times what a normal coal plant is. Yeah.
Peter Major, our happy face on a Tuesday. Unfortunately, Eskom is no joking matter, though. In fact, a little bit earlier when Walter Hill was here in studio from Equestra, he shook his head and said he cannot believe what's going on there. He spent 20 years of his life at that organization, and he too is deeply distressed at what's happening at South Africa's power utility. But that was mining analyst Peter Major. He's from Cadiz Corporate Solutions.